Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our second update show. Hello. I hope that you guys have a great Thursday. I hope that you guys can hear us. I am joined by my beautiful, amazing co-host again for the update shows, Mr. Louis. Hello, Mr. Louis.
Hello.
How are you doing? How's your day?
Amazing.
Are you excited about the new patch?
Yes.
Excited about the new content?
Yes.
Because I am. Do we want to start with the biggest thing already?
What is the big? I don't think it's like the biggest thing is after, right?
No, well,
the
Loki
biggest,
is a big thing.
Right. Okay.
But this one is a big W, and I would really like to start with it. So let's start with one of the biggest W's that we've had so far.
Okay.
Which is 3v3 arcade becomes 3v3 with knockout only. We did it! Yes, we did it! We did it!
What did you say? We did it.
Everyone!
Oh my god.
The chat, where's your reaction? I want to see W's in chat. Give me W's. Now, come on. Yes!
Yes.
Yes! See? There's the reaction.
Perfect.
Ah,
We can finally play 3v3. Is
I
that it?
love it. Well, yes, we can finally play 3v3.
I see.
So talk us through a bit of the decision, please. Why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Well, because people want it. The people have spoken, so we have to do it. No, more seriously. Okay, so we tested the first time. We did put knockout only in an LTM, and the results were actually on par with arcade. It was not that higher, but then we tested again, and we've seen that there was a lot of participation on the knockout queue, and we just wanted to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And so 3v3 knockout will be the main 3v3 queue, right? So that's what it is. Now, it doesn't mean that the arcade is going away. It doesn't mean that the game modes are going away. They are gonna come back in limited time modes that players will have access during the weekend. Some of the weekends, starting next patch. So that's coming. That's still available, but just not all the time. And knockout is the main queue, and people are gonna love it.
People are going to love it.
Hopefully. So I see a question of like, why not both, but separate? The problem of adding too many queues is then you segment the player base, and I'm sure that you guys want as good as possible matchmaking. Well, as much as you separate the player base, you have less players, and if you have less players into the queues, you have less good matchmaking. So, in order to make sure that the matchmaking is as good as possible, you tend to not want to segment your player base too much, and so that's why not two different queues for arcade and knockout. That's why the decision was not that easy to make, in the sense that, like, that's still a decision, right? That you need to think of it a bit, and so that's why that a lot of players asked, oh, why are you not letting it on all the time? It's just because we don't want to segment the player base too much, and we don't want to have, as much as possible, matchmaking problems.
But yeah, still a huge W. Thank you to everyone who tested it, who played it in the previous limited time mode weekends. That is a decision driven by community. Next one, we are implementing a new cosmetic into the game, which are called banners. What are banners, Mr. Louis?
So banners are a 2D artwork that players are gonna see when they eliminate, when they get eliminated. So you see the banners of the person that eliminated you into the game. You might have seen already the banner in the game, in the elimination recap, but that banner was not customizable, so you can now customize it. Simple as that.
We can now customize it. We are going to share a screenshot on the update notes about the banners right now. We would like to show this, but is that the one that you see on my screen here right now?
No, that is not.
Those are the cards. Yeah, we are going to show this to you as soon as possible, guys. But yeah, banners are coming as well as a new feature. Then we have something for you that improves your life during character selection, which is that there is a new feature, skin and god purchasing during the character selection, and I'm going to bring this up in game soon. But yeah, what's this change about?
I mean, super straightforward, right? We wanted to make sure that people don't have to go out of the game in order to buy skins or characters. We've seen that people tend to want to try new characters at character selection screen because you can try them, and so now you're able to do that.
This skin already has all of the characters unlocked, but you would be able to not only choose the ones that you already unlocked, but also buy the character if you want this.
Wait, have you seen? There's a new character there.
We're gonna come to him
okay.
a bit later.
But there's a new character there. What'd you do?
Give me a second. One by one, okay? But yeah, if you click on login, then you can choose the loadout and you can choose which skin you want, showing off the crazy amazing Mecha Tarasu skin, which we are going to give away at the end of the show.
Wait, are we doing giveaway?
Yes,
what?
we are doing a giveaway at the end of the show.
Come on.
But yeah, this is how it is going to look like, guys. Just to give you a quick example there. Let's move on to the next feature, which are updated titles.
Yes, so we had titles into the game that you can unlock, that you can win as well. We wanted to make sure that we're getting ready for more titles to come in. And so we wanted Rarity to feel cool and also make sure that you can show your title to other players in all of the different screens in the game, right? And so we added that. And that's it, right on. We added titles in the lobby, right? The character selection screen, the scoreboard, and the end of match scoreboard, right? That's
super important to flex. People
Yes.
out there
Yes.
watching us, flex with your titles. And then there is another W. There's another W, and I really want chat to go crazy again, because we are going to put damage done in the scoreboard. Yes, it's such a W. You cannot it's crazy.
See, all those little things, right? It's just making sure. When you ask some things, we try to just see that if that works. If that works, well, we just do it, right?
Yeah, players can now see, when the patch is live, they can see the damage done in the scoreboard. It is coming, guys. Be prepared to farm damage and to tell your players and to tell your friends who are partying up with you who is going to be the best guy in your party. Of course, right? It's always about that damage. Everything is about damage. Okay, let's move on. I'm already so excited about this patch. It's crazy. There's so many
some
W's.
cool things.
Next one. We moved the loadout during the character selection to the skin selection. That is something that we have already seen when I talked about god purchasing. But are there any additional notes that you want to give us about this new change?
Well, see, it's the things that you forget when you add characters. That characters take space during the character selection screen, right?
Yes.
So you need space.
We always need space.
So there's more space.
There's more space.
For more characters.
Are there more characters coming?
Well, there's just one here, right? That's it.
We're presenting one character soon.
Yeah.
We're presenting more characters soon. But yeah, it makes more sense to select your god first and then pick the loadout and the skin after you've locked on your god. And as Louis said, more space for more characters. Hype. More
characters, more space, more UI.
And then there is the last bullet point that I wanted to show you guys before jumping into the god balance, which is general combat changes. We are canceling the ground targeted movement abilities or we are changing that canceling those movement abilities now consumes the full cooldown. What is this about?
Right, so if you cancel your ground targeted movement abilities, you can go into the air, right? And that's something that we wanted to keep still into the game because we think that that's really cool. That for now is not something that we want to remove. And so the only way to not remove it was to balance it out a bit. So that characters that have the ability to cancel their ground targeted movement ability are actually a bit more balanced, right? So we think that that's a way to keep it, but at the same time make it so that there's a cost, right, associated with it, because right now the cost is just way too small. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We think that's a good change. We think that that's making it so that there's something that we really believe in, which is that we're not really genuinely thinking of that playstyle when we designed the abilities. The community showed us how to use it, and we don't want to remove everything that the community finds if that can add to the game. So that's part of it, right? That's a change made so that we can keep that into the game.
And that's quite a significant change. So for everyone out there playing DKO, for everyone out there watching, please keep your feedback coming. A change like this is very important to get feedback on our Discord server, get feedback on our Twitter channels, all of our social media channels. Test it once it is live. So then we are going to move into God balance, and we're going to do this alphabetically, and we're going to start with Amaterasu. Amaterasu is going to receive a nerf.
You know what? At least on my document, that's not alphabetical.
Well,
I mean, in a way it is.
In a way it is.
But it's not. But that's fine.
As I said in the last update show, there is still room to improve.
Right.
But we are going to do this.
That's fine. It's French alphabet.
In alphabetical order, next update show.
Yeah, French alphabet. That's all good.
Let's go Amaterasu balance. There's going to be a nerf, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, so no more combo on the ultimates. Okay, so there will be more balance coming for Amaterasu because we know that that's definitely a big change of playstyle. But the ability to combo with your ultimate is something that puts way too much pressure, especially if she has some moves at like 0.25, 0.30 pre-fire. It puts way too much pressure on enemies, and it makes it so that just a single mistake and then you have the ult very easily on Amaterasu. And so that's something that we want to change and see how that goes. That is a big change.
It is a big change.
It is a big change.
But I've seen a couple of W's in chat for this Amaterasu nerf.
Yes.
Again, for all of those balance changes, I cannot stress this enough, guys. We need your feedback once the patch is live to continue improving everything that is balanced, okay? And then when I mentioned we would do this in alphabetical order, I used the actual first name of the character, not the prefix, okay? Next week we are going, or not next week, but during the next update show, this is going to be alphabetical order, but we're going to continue with balance for King Arthur.
Right.
That's like his first name is Arthur, okay? Sorry guys, but King Arthur. Let's talk about King Arthur. He's getting a buff.
Yeah, nothing crazy. It's just to put him in line with the rest of the characters and the rest of the cast, really. Basically making sure the values like correspond to what the other characters have. We're just making a few changes to make it so that it's in line with the rest of the cast, right? So increasing the damage of the movement ability, of the ultimate, and the heavy air attack, as well as buffing the slice through talent, so that you do more knockback on the spike. That's it. Right.
Giving him a bit more power in the upcoming patch. Moving on from King Arthur, we are talking about Athena, and Athena is receiving a nerf. Why? And what?
There's way too much possibility to play around the spear with a third trait. So we are decreasing the lifetime of the spear, so that there is more pressure to use it fast, and that will change a bit the how the third talent is used. So that's good. Second one is the cooldown on the parry. We want to make it so that we can push again a bit more the window at which you can attack. So we want to make it so that people can attack for a longer period of time, and there is less pressure to play against Athena. So we are moving that away, and pretty much it really. The talents on the additional knockback is going to from 20 to 15%. Again, just because this play style in the air is a bit too strong. So we want to make it so that there's more balance on the traits that she can use. There will be more coming, more adjustments coming. Not necessarily nerf, but you know, making it so that all the talents and all the playstyles are at least viable.
Keeping a closer look on Athena in the upcoming patches.
That is it.
Perfect. Next one. We are moving on to one of my favorite characters, Izanami. Izanami is unfortunately receiving a slight nerf.
Well,
right?
yeah, there's more, making it so that the talent is in line with the rest of the cast. She has a talent that gives you way too much ultimate charge. So that's coming back so that there's a bit more just balance overall on how fast you get your ultimate. That's it. It's not big. Not gonna change too much, just the baseline so that we can understand where to go from there.
A slight nerf. Slight nerf. Izanami is not gone, of course.
Da.
The next character that is going to be affected by this balance change is Sol, which is a buff for Sol.
Yeah, we want to make it so you can confirm your ultimate just a bit more. That's more of a skill check, and that there is more pressure that is gonna be applied. So we want Sol to be in a state where the supernova is a bit easier to land.
That is a buff for Sol. And now, so please pardon my pause, but there is another W. The W's that just keep coming. They just keep coming. We are, and prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves for
just the first one. There's more coming.
There's more coming, but
yeah.
Prepare yourselves. We are going to nerf Sun Wukong.
Yeah, he has a few problems. Yeah. Okay. So Sun Wukong, his staff ability is available way too often. So basically, there is a spacing on Sun Wukong that you need to get right in order to play against him. The problem right now is that the spacing that you need to get is just putting so much pressure, like on the back and forth that you need to do, where like it starts to be problematic. And so we want to make sure that you have more time to play against him in between the staff ability. That's it. And again, second one is the clone. Clone, we think it's core. The vision is that there's not a lot of ways to understand which is the clone and which is the real one. We are gonna change that. So we are gonna make it so that there are a few tells, right? But we want to keep it really strong. We think that the clone is a really important piece of the kit. But we're gonna decrease the damage down because right now, at a low level, because usually that's not something that is gonna have too much of an impact at high level, but low level, there is a bit too much impact on the clone.
And again, whenever we change cooldown timings, please let us know how you feel playing the character, playing Sun Wukong after the patch hits live. Let us know on our social media channels what you think about this this change for Sun Wukong that is coming. Then we move on to Monsieur Susano.
Yeah, so Susano, we're making sure that the airlight is going to be a bit slower. Right now he wins too many trades with the airlight, and so that's something that we want to keep in line. The second one is and that's more of a bug fix. That is not something we intended. The light attack chain had too much of a hitbox, and so that's something that we are getting back in line.
Another balance change that is coming is for Thanatos after Susano. So Thanatos is also receiving a nerf. What is this nerf about?
Yeah, so especially in 3v3 and 2v2, Thanatos is hitting himself way too much, so we're reducing that at the moment. That is the main change that we have here, is to make sure that he has less the ability to hit himself in the game.
A bit of sustain reduce for Thanatos, and then we have two more, I think. Yes, the list shows two more. Lots and lots of balance changes in this patch, guys. The last but not least, of course, we will have the Z character coming, but let's continue with Mr. Thor getting a talent nerf here in this upcoming patch.
Yes, so mostly that's to make it so that there is more build diversity, so we are aiming more at the talents here. And making sure that the damage build is getting a bit down. So for Winide, it's actually pretty high right now, but the talent diversity is just too low. So we're gonna have a look at that and make sure that there is more different ways. There are other different ways to play Thor. That is it.
And last but not least, I mentioned the Z character already. It is the god of gods. It is Zeus who is receiving a buff, slight buff.
Yes, so making it so that it's much easier to hit the ultimate. So right now you have 3 bolts on the ultimate. You now have a 4th one. So there's a lot more area that's covered by the ultimate. And so that's making it so that we don't want to make it so that we reintroduce a lot of other animation bolts, but we want to make it so that it's much easier to hit your bolts. So pretty much it.
Quality of life improvement for our Zeus mains in chat. And that's it, basically, for God balance. So we can instantly move over to blessings balance, or is there any other note that you have for gods?
No, that's it, really.
Awesome. Let's go over to blessings balance. We are going to change a couple of these blessings in here, starting with Soul's Temper. So what is going on with Soul's Temper here?
Well, Soul's Temper is way too widely used, and also is making it really on to balance damage. So we are nerfing the amount of damage that you're gaining via the Soul's Temper, so that again there are more different blessings that are being used.
Sharpened Sickle is the other one, reducing the cap per attack or ability from 3 to 2.
Yes, just too much like damage overall, like damage stacking overall, and that's really like all of the next changes are way too much damage stacking going on.
And then the third one saying upward slash, reducing the additional damage done by the air heavy attacks from 4 to 3.
That is it.
Just a damage reduction for the upward slash.
Damage stacking that is nerfed all around to make sure that that's not the only type of build that is being played, and that it's actually doable to balance the characters individually.
And the fourth one that is receiving a change here is the Air Supremacy Blessing. The cap for additional damage per attack has been reduced from 6 to 4, another damage reduction.
That is it.
But yeah, those are the balance changes for your blessings. And now the next thing that we are going to move over to are some map updates. And before we go into detail about map updates, I would really like you to first know that the map updates are listed in the patch notes that we are going to release after this update show, and there is way more detail about these map updates. But basically we are updating Spirit Shrine, Swinging Spire, Spellbound Study, Mystic Mayhem. Those are the maps that we are updating, and we are trying to give you guys a better experience and more consistent behavior of clambering. So a lot of these maps are being updated so that you are that it's a bit easier for you to get back onto the map once you get knocked off. And some of those changes also include moving the spawn points for some teams, but overall, please check out the patch notes once this update show is over. I'm going to post this on our social media channels with a link, or go to divineknockout.com and move on to the news section. You will see all of those map changes in detail if you want to. Then, before we are moving on to the new character, the new big thing, the new god, the trickster, let's talk about bug fixes. And again, there are tons of bug fixes, and we hear your feedback around those bugs, the bug fixes, about the transparency on those bug fixes, and that's why we explained a lot more in this part of the update notes, of this patch notes, about bug fixes. Yes?
Actually, there's one that we're not going to talk about, but I see that there are at least 3 different people in the chat asking for it. FPS issues on Mystic Mayhem. Yes, I think that's fixed. Should be fixed. I
think it's listed in the
patch notes.
In the patch notes,
right? Yes, in the patch notes, but we're not going to talk about it. But we need to talk about it. It's fixed. Team has been spending a lot of time to make sure that the map is now optimized. So if you still have problems, definitely open to hear it. Definitely tell us. But normally that should be fixed for Mystic Mayhem.
Yeah, on screen you see the 4. Is it 4 or 5? I think I put 5. The 5 most important bug fixes that I wanted to bring up during this update show. But there is a lot more explained in the patch notes. And again, you will find them on divineknockout.com after this update show. But yeah, let's talk about those really quick. Quests, we fixed the progress tracking for projectile damage. That is something that I saw a lot of messages about on our Discord server. Izanami can now jump while aiming with Seeking Sicko. Emir can no longer early jump cancel on his light attack 2. Sorry, Emir mains. But that is a bug fix. And we fixed an issue with player titles appearing in unintended menus. We saw a couple of these reports coming in across all of our social media channels where players thought they could purchase other titles because someone else was showing up in a different menu or in picks, and they thought that players could purchase these titles in menus outside of the shop, and that should be fixed with the next update there as well. And of course, a couple of fixes for crashes. Again, full list can be found in the patch notes. Also, a couple of notes here from my side. We are still investigating the issue of random character switches. I have asked a couple of guys on Reddit to send over logs so that we can investigate this further. So if you've had this issue in the current version of DKO, please don't ping me or send me a message if this is like 2 months ago, but in the current version of DKO, please let me know on Discord or on Twitter. You can just tweet at the official DKO game channel on Twitter so that we can investigate and fix this as soon as possible. And also, if you're experiencing any of the bugs that are listed in the patch notes after the patch is live, please tell us on Discord. We are really working hard, and we are thankful for your help on fixing those issues as soon as possible.
But when is the patch live?
Next week. Next week. It's already Thursday.
But when is the patch live? Yes, it's not this week.
It's not. Unfortunately, it's not this week.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Dave is going to leak the Dave the intern is going to leak the patch date. Yes. But yeah, that is it for balance, bug fixes, and major changes. Is there anything to add from your side, Louis?
No, that's
anything
it.
that we forgot?
There's tons more bug fixes onto the patch notes.
Yes.
We will try our best to make sure it is documented moving forward. But there's already a lot more. there are some really cool things that are coming into this patch. There are really cool things happening into the next patch as well that we think you're really, really, really gonna like. Right?
Yes.
So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really.
But I think now it's time to move over to the new god. And we prepared a small little video that we would like to show you about our newest character, Loki. Ladies and gentlemen, Loki is coming. And joining me for this part for Loki is Mr. Fede from our design team. Hello, Fede. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Hi, chat.
Fede is joining us for the new God reveal and coming from the design team. Let's jump into the game and start discussing stuff about Loki. So let me show this to you here. Fede, who is Loki?
So, starting from quick overview about the lore, the personality of the character, Loki belongs to the Norse mythology, and he's a wily trickster. So his personality is a trickster, is very chaotic, irreverent. So for this reason, his relationship with other gods is quite difficult because he helps the other gods, but always based on his advantage. So the way in which we translated this into DKO, creating our version of Loki, we created a character that feels different compared to other gods that we have. Since his role, he is a sneaky assassin with a lot of mobility and agility, but with also trickster mechanics, especially on the abilities. So we will have new effects. So we will show you new effects with Loki, and we also have elements to create mind games against the opponent. So totally trying to convey the feeling of being a sneaky assassin. So yeah, that's the role of Loki, and I don't want to spoil too much. I think we can go to the practice mode.
Yes, we can definitely go into the practice mode. I turned off my... I saw a couple of messages in chat saying Staggy's gone. I turned off my camera so you guys can read through the description here for Loki. But let me bring back the scene. I'm not gone, guys. I'm not gone. Everything is fine. We are okay. We are okay. But let's move into the game and show you how Loki is built and what abilities we have for Loki.
Yeah, and I saw someone who's asking my role. I'm the game designer who worked on Loki. So yeah, I'm excited to describe all the abilities.
Let's go. Cool. Loki. So, as you can see, Loki has a couple of very, very interesting abilities with the green logos at the bottom, and we should be able to start with Loki's first ability, Acrobatic Vault. So, what is this ability doing?
This ability is a leap, so Loki is able to go in air with momentum. as you can see here, you can cover a quite huge distance with this leap, but you can also jump in the middle of this leap to extend your distance. And this ability is especially useful to engage opponents or to disengage based on the situation, but it's also helpful and useful because, as you can see, during the leap your daggers become brighter. This means that they are empowered. So your first aerial attack that can be an empowered air light or empowered air heavy is empowered. So basically the behavior, the damage and the knockback is completely different compared to the standard air light attacks. So if you can try the empowered air light, is a double stab, very helpful as a finisher against opponents that are like more on the horizontal level, because this attack has more horizontal tracking compared to the empowered air heavy. And empowered air heavy is a kick performed below, yeah, exactly. That also, this one is very useful as a finisher, because both the empowered attacks are very finisher-like abilities in the Loki's kit. And yeah, so that's the description and the overview of this ability. So very cool to engage and disengage, and yeah, to have this sort of aerial playstyle with cool finishers.
You've basically described the ability for someone who's very good at the game. Describing it for someone like me who really needs like days and days and days of hard grind to master any character. It doesn't matter how many stars we give them in difficulty. I will use this as a disengage tool, and I will use this to get back, because people are way too good at this game from my perspective.
Yeah, that's your playstyle, so it's fine.
My playstyle is, come on guys, my playstyle is, I hope I just don't feed, okay? That is my playstyle. So that's Loki's first ability. Let's move on to Loki's second ability, and that is something very interesting, because that is going to include a new CC effect, Obscuring Dagger. Talk us through this ability, please.
Yeah, this ability is a dagger, so a magical dagger that is thrown by Loki, so it's a projectile ability. This projectile dagger is very interesting in terms of mechanic, because it adds a new effect that is called Daze. So this ability will deal 12 damage and will apply light knockback. So it's not a finisher in terms of ability, but it's more an opener, because it applies the Daze on the opponent, and the Daze obscure the screen of the opponent, removing the vulnerability label and the character label, the outline. So basically for the opponents will become very hard to distinguish which is the allies and which are the opponents. So this is one of the abilities that starts to integrate this feeling of being a trickster, someone that tries to, let's say, trick the opponents. And here, especially in 3 versus 3 and 2 versus 2, this ability is very effective, because you can attack the opponents with these abilities, and then you can use it as an opener to do other actions.
And just to show you the CC effect of me being affected by it, I will throw the Obscuring Dagger to my rival, and then he is going to attack me with the same ability, and then on screen you will see the effect that is doing. So watch out. Now he's not doing it. He always did it. Let me reset. Oh no, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. So as you can see, the screen is obscured more on the sides of the screen. Then in the center you have this distortion effect. But the cool thing, mechanically speaking, is the removal of information. So the vulnerability label and the character label is not displayed both on opponent and allies. So it's very hard to distinguish them. But yeah, let's try again.
Let me try again. Let me reset him. Maybe I was a bit too close to him. There we go.
Exactly. So as you can see, Loki has no information, so basically you are not able to distinguish if it's an ally or an opponent, and this will be for all the characters in the battleground.
Yeah, that's being his ability, Obscuring Dagger, using a new CC effect and bringing something very, very new and fresh into Divine Knockout. Then, moving on to the third ability, which is called Hidden in Shadows. And let me go back to the targeting range here.
Yeah, cool. So Hidden in Shadows is the ability to go in sneaky mode, perfect sneaky mode, thanks to the stealth. So Loki enters in stealth for a short period of time, receiving a movement speed buff. So it's very agile during this invisibility period. One thing that is specific for Loki is he can dodge while in stealth without exiting from this mode. So it's something specific for Loki. And one thing that is added to this ability is the fact that the first attack out of this invisibility applies a new effect that is called poison. So the poison applies damage over time to the opponent, and the cool thing this ability is very versatile because all of your basic attacks, both on ground and in the air, can apply the poison. So you can do exactly, for example, an air attack or a hold heavy. Yeah. So in this case, is based on the situation, based on the number of opponents that you have, you can use multiple and different attacks to apply poison to different opponents. So that's the second new effect that we introduced with Loki. So a lot of different effects to have this gameplay that is based on sneaky, trickster playstyle.
Amazing. Hidden in Shadows being his third ability here in game. And then we go to the big one.
Yeah, let's go.
The big one. Explosive Me.
Explosive Me is one of the key elements of Loki, since he's able to create a clone. This clone, you can charge this clone. As you can see, there's a timer, so the ability can be fully charged in order to explode and deal massive damage and knockback. But the interesting part of this ability is you can refire it when you want to trigger the explosion when you refire. So basically you have control on when the explosion is triggered. In this way you can create mind games with against the opponents because they don't know the exact time of the explosion, and the pre-fire time of the explosion is quite short, so they are forced to be very focused in order to avoid this explosion. And this ability can also be very versatile because you can use it like an area denial if you put the clone and then you leave it charging till the end, for example on a control point or near to the point in which you drop the coins, or you can refire it almost instantly based on the situation. So you have control on this refire window.
Refiring it, putting this ability down for the perfect moment to explode is something that I saw a couple of W's in chat. But yeah, that's basically Loki's kit. Of course, we have a lot of talents that we are going to talk to you about next week in a different video that we are going to release. But we wanted to show you Loki in game, and we wanted to show you his abilities again. Let me summarize this. I have the Q ability, the first one, Acrobatic Vault. Then, as you see here on my E, let me turn this off so you see the actual abilities. And guys, don't worry, Loki has cooldowns. I just have it set no cooldowns on, so I can use the ability whenever I see it. You won't be able to do this, okay? It might be fun for a limited time mode.
Yeah, maybe for a talent. We can remove all the cooldowns, yeah.
He has cooldowns. Yeah, this one being Acrobatic Vault, Obscuring Dagger, Throwing the Dagger and Dazing your enemy, Stealth, Hidden in Shadows, including the Dot. Is that a cleave?
Yeah, so one thing that that is very cool is using the ability 2 as an opener, so you can daze the opponent and then you can leap into the air to, let's say, go out of the line of sight of the dazed opponent, or go into the stealth to not being visible. So you have a lot of interactions between the abilities, and you can decide how to work with those interactions.
And then, of course, his biggest ability here being Explosive Me. Are there any questions in chat about Loki that you would like us to answer? If you have a question about Loki, feel free to shoot it now in chat. When is the update? We said next week. No final date yet.
I saw about the air and heavy air combos. Can we show like the air attacks and air heavy? That'd be cool. Yeah, basically here for the air attacks we have a single stab for the air attack, air light attack, and a spinning attack for the air heavy. So of course you can combo air light into air heavy, and the empowered ones. So when you activate the ability one is basically new behaviors for those attacks. So going in the air with the ability one will improve those attacks, making, for example, the air light a double stab compared to the single stab. So a lot of improvements on the damage, on the knockback, but also on the tracking.
I really like the kick. Feels powerful to just kick someone off the platform. Loki not using his daggers for the heavy attack, using his Q, but it's like, get off my platform. This is my arena now. Anything else in chat?
Heavy attacks, I saw. So maybe we can show all the attacks.
The basic ground attacks?
Yeah.
That's light.
Yeah, the light is a 4-hit attack. So very quick in using the daggers, so conveying this feeling of being agile and rapid. So that's the light. So then we have the heavy, that is a double slash, diagonal, performed with both the daggers. And the whole heavy is this radial creation of these magical daggers that affects all the opponents in the surroundings and applies this radial knockback. So this is very helpful to kill people.
Clearing some space.
Cool. Yeah, I saw does the leap break stealth? Yes. But you can do like the opposite also. You can do the leap and then you can go in stealth. And this is very helpful to disengage or to engage. You can go in the leap, then go in stealth, change direction. So that's cool.
Really agile on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Lots of W's.
Yeah.
Someone asking the very, very important question here. Skins. Yes, skins. We are going to release Loki alongside with his first skin. And let me give you a skin showcase here. That is going to be Loki's first skin, which is called Nordic Nomad. This one is going to be available in the in-game shop. And we are providing also wallpapers for this Nordic Nomad skin. Let me show this one in game as well. But yeah, wallpapers for not just Loki's new skin, but also the default one. As you can see here, this is the default wallpaper that you can grab from the patch notes once the patch notes are live. So going back into the game here to showing off Loki's Nordic Nomad skin in game. The theme for the skin, I mean, as you can see, it's a snake, right?
Yeah, it's a snake, yeah. I really like it.
Some additional effects on the headpiece here. Different horns as well.
Yeah, it's different. Visually speaking, it's very different compared to the standard skin. It fits the fantasy and personality of Loki, this skin. So yeah, I'll use it for sure.
Definitely. Really, really, really cool content. So not just Loki on his default. Let me show the ultimate as well. There we go. But yeah, Loki is going to receive a skin that is being available in the in-game shop once the patch is going live. Anything else regarding Loki, both from chat or from you, Fede? Is there anything that you wanted to bring up for Loki before we move on to community news?
No, I think we covered everything. I hope we will enjoy the character. Yeah, should be it.
Should be a lot of fun. Again, guys, leave us feedback once you had a chance to get your hands on Loki as soon as the patch hits live servers next week. Final date still pending. But yeah, that is an early look on Loki. And for the last part of this update show, I'm going to talk to you about some community news. And community news always means that something cool is happening, which is we are going to extend the Twitch drop campaign. New fans can still watch DKO content on partnered, on not just partnered, but channels who have their drops enabled on Twitch. Just watch some amazing DKO content, also from our partner program, but that's the second bullet point that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Twitch drops are still live or are going to be live again for the month of March. And then for the partner program, we have relaunched this partner program. So if you're creating DKO content and you would like to apply for the partner program, go to divineknockout.com, apply, and then fill out the form during the application. Wait a few days for an answer. I still have about 60 to 70 applications to go through, and I am reviewing the partner program applications every Friday. So if last Friday you didn't receive an answer, it is very likely that you will receive one tomorrow. But yeah, there is some backlog on that partner program. You will get your answer soon. And then for patch date, I put this in. Dave the intern next week is going to drop an exact date once we are confident in the date when Loki is coming live. But I think that's it for the Loki update show. Thank you very much, Fede, for joining me. Thank you very much for amazing insights during the Loki presentation. Expect a couple more content videos to drop about Loki's talents next week. And yeah, go to divineknockout.com. In a couple of minutes, I will put the patch notes live then. And thank you very much for watching. And have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye.